I was like, he's literally gonna have us broke one day.
From DMX's wife watching music, billions disappear before her eyes, to Dr. Dre's exes demanding $2 million a month, and Nas's music, ex-wife saying this.
If I was a gold digger, I wouldn't have chosen him. You know, like, come on.
Some of these rapper wives went from private jets and Birkin bags to literally fighting for rent, music, money. Buckle up, because this list gets messy. Nicole Young, picture being married to a man worth nearly $1 billion for 24 years and still feeling like you got robbed. That's the Nicole Young story in a nutshell. She was tied down to Andre Young, better known as Dr. Dre, the producer behind NWA, Beats by Music Dre, and basically half the classics you bump in your car. Their split in 2020, Music, turned into one of the loudest, most expensive divorces hip-hop has ever witnessed. Now, here's where, Music, it gets wild. Nicole came in swinging, asking the court for around $2 million a month in spousal support. She itemized her monthly expenses like a grocery list from another planet. We're talking $135,000 a month on clothes alone, $10,000 a month on laundry, and a whole bag Music for security. Yeah, laundry. Imagine spending a small car payment every month just to wash drawers. The real shocker came when her bank accounts allegedly only had about $1 million in them at the start of the case, while she was burning through cash on her lifestyle. That's a woman married to one of the richest men in rap, and her actual liquid money was a drop in the ocean compared to her spending habits. She came at Dre hard, too. Nicole accused him of abuse, claimed he held a gun to her head, and said she was forced into signing the prenup back in 1996. Music. She wanted half of everything: his masters, his Apple deal, his beatsteak, all 7 of his houses. Dre denied the abuse claims and held the line on that prenup. The judge wasn't really hearing her side, either. The prenup mostly held up. After all that legal warfare, Nicole walked away with a $100 million cash settlement for luxury whips, including a Rolls-Royce, and her jewelry. No monthly checks, no alimony, nothing. Dre kept Music, his Brentwood mansion, his masters, and the Apple money. So, technically, she didn't go broke, but going from demanding $2 million a month to getting a flat payout and being cut off forever, that's a downgrade in the eyes of music, the streets. Dre even threw a divorce party afterward. Cold work. Speaking of cold, the next ex-wife had it even worse, because the rapper she divorced was on his way to becoming a billionaire before everything fell apart. Tashara Simmons.
I was like, he's literally gonna have us broke one day.
She was right there next to Earl Simmons, the man we all knew as DMX, when his career was a tornado of platinum albums and box office hits. Tashara saw the come up, the peak, Music, and the painful crash. And what she described in interviews sounds like something out of a movie. In a sit-down on the Reality with the King podcast, she dropped the kind of detail that makes your jaw hit the floor. Tashara said the money in their accounts had so many zeros, it didn't even look real. Her words painted a picture of a man who was inches away from billionaire status. Music. DMX was pulling around $10 million per movie at his peak, plus album money, tour money, merch money, all of it. Then came the falls. DMX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy multiple times, including one filing where he listed debt between $1 and $10 million and over $1.2 million in unpaid child support. His monthly income at one point was around $5,000, while Music, his bills were way higher. The man who almost touched billionaire status was reporting income that some part-time workers pull in. The way the money disappeared was crazy, too. Tashara talked about insane spending decisions like renting out entire hotels at $150,000 a day. She also mentioned how he turned down a chance to invest in the Barclays Center, a deal that would have set the family up forever. Imagine knowing your husband passed on generational wealth so he could keep doing whatever he was doing. DMX had over 15 kids by different women, which meant child support was eating his pockets from every angle. He was jailed for not paying support at one point. The IRS came knocking. Lawyers came knocking. The drug battles never really stopped. By the time he passed in 2021, the empire was a ghost. Tashara didn't file her own bankruptcy. She separated emotionally and tried to protect her sanity. But the family was hit with foreclosure scares, shared debts, and constant chaos. She watched a man who was almost a billionaire on paper become a man whose estate was tangled in music lawsuits. From the outside, that's the definition of going broke through marriage. Now, from billions vanishing into thin air, let's slide over to a wife who's literally fighting to file bankruptcy as we speak. Music. Krista Joyner, married to Exhibit, real name Alvin Joyner, the dude who gave us classic albums, hosted Pimp My Ride, and had Music, a whole second act in the cannabis business. But behind the scenes, his marriage to Krista has turned into one of the messiest divorce battles in rap right now, and she's Music, the closest thing on this list to an actual broke wife. Court papers spilled the tea. Krista told the court she was unemployed, drowning in bills, and planning to file for bankruptcy. She listed around $200,000 in credit card debt, some of it owed to her own friends. That's wild. Imagine borrowing 20 grand from your homegirl and not being able to pay it back because your rapper music husband's check shrunk. She was asking for around $230,000 to cover her music legal fees and bills, plus higher monthly support. Her demand was around $9,000 a month for child support and $21,000 a month for spousal support. Music. She said she couldn't afford weekend trips, designer clothes, or the lifestyle she was living before. The downgrade was real. Now, Krista didn't just stop at "I'm broke." She accused Exhibit of hiding assets, including allegedly stashing $20 million in cash music from his cannabis business in vaults through his brother.
Exhibit claims he isn't making any money from his cannabis businesses, y'all, and that he's struggling to break even.
Well, I don't know.
First of all, you know this is a lie.
That's the kind of accusation that sounds like a plot twist from a heist music movie. She also claimed he sold off their joint brass knuckles cannabis trademarks for around $724,000 without her permission, which violated music, their restraining orders. Exhibit fired back with his own sob story. He said he has around $1.3 million in tax debt, with about $900,000 owed to the IRS and $400,000 music to California. He claimed personal debts of $1.4 million and business liabilities of $2 million. He earns around $66,000 a month, but spends, music, $23,000 on expenses. Basically, both of them are claiming financial pain. Here's the funny part. While Krista is crying broke in court, she's reportedly living in their $3 million home with a new boyfriend, music, and his kids living rent-free. So, the courts are looking at this whole thing sideways. The trial is still going into 2026. From bankruptcy threats to the next wife who came up with a $100 million payday, the contrast is wild. Khalees Rogers. This one wasn't just some random wife. She was the singer who told us all our milkshakes brought boys to the yard. Khalees got hitched, music, to Nasir Jones, aka Nas, the legendary Queens rapper behind Illmatic. And the marriage lasted from 2005 to 2010. The split was ugly. The support battles lasted years, and the numbers got crazy. The court ordered Nas to pay her serious money. At one point, the combined spousal and child support hit around $51,000 a month. Let that sink in. That's more than most people make in a year, paid every single month to one woman. Then came the back payments. Nas was ordered to pay around $47,000 in back child support and $40,000 in spousal arrears. But it didn't stop music there. The judge made Nas cover 90% of her legal fees, which came to about $156,000, plus another $49,000 for her accountant. He was ordered to pay $10,000 a month in spousal support until he cleared the back balance, which was sitting around $299,000 at one point. Now, here's where the script flips. Khalees didn't actually go broke. She kept her music career rolling, started a chef thing, dropped cookbooks, music, and stayed busy. The broke narrative gets attached to her because of how nasty the support battles got and how often fans suggested she should give music the money back. Khalees hit back at those critics in a public clapback.
If I was a gold digger, I wouldn't have chosen him. You know, like, come on.
Basically saying Nas still owed her and the whole situation was crazy. She wasn't trying to hear nobody talk about returning anything. Music. The court records actually exposed Nas's own money problems with hundreds of thousands in debt, manager music fees, and other obligations stacking up. So, while Khalees didn't lose everything, the divorce showed how even high-earning rappers can get squeezed dry by support obligations. Nas was rich on paper, music, but cash flow was tight. The drama between them lasted longer than the actual marriage. From a chef who ate good off her divorce, let's switch lanes to a wife who got fed, but still couldn't escape the chaos.
He became arrogant and cocky, and everything that he did for me or the kids, he has to be praised for, And, he's so used to getting so much attention, people praising him for his work, that he expects that when he comes home, and it's not the same. I don't look at him like that.
Marshall Mathers, music, known to the world as Eminem, has one of the most documented relationships in music history with this woman right here. M literally rapped about their entire life, the highs, music, the lows, the toxic parts, all of it. Kim and his marriages and divorces have been a recurring theme in his albums for over 2 decades. The first divorce in 2001 was actually pretty quick by celebrity standards. Kim walked away with around $475,000 in cash, plus music, joint custody of their daughter, Haley. Eminem kept the $450,000 Michigan home. They tried marriage again in 2006, and that one ended even faster. Now, here's the part that makes this story interesting. Kim has had real struggles in life, well documented through Eminem's lyrics, addiction battles, mental health stuff, the works. Music. But the financial picture wasn't a clean broke story. In 2023, Eminem's company, Shady Records, loaned Kim around $615,000 to buy a new house. That's $600,000 from her ex-husband's company. She had to sell her previous house, but she actually made profit on some of the property sales over the years. So, technically, Kim was getting bailed out by M even after they were long divorced. The relationship between them stayed complicated with money still flowing in unusual ways. The reversal in their story is what makes it spicy. Kim met Eminem when he was broke, music struggling, sleeping on couches, working dead-end jobs. She was with him through the trailer park days. Then he blew up into one of the biggest rappers ever, and the whole dynamic flipped. She left when he was getting rich, came back, music, left again, and somehow still ends up needing financial help from his camp. There's no bankruptcy filing tied to her divorce from M. There's no court drama with her crying broke, but the loans, the on and off nature of their finances, and her personal struggles paint a picture of a woman who never really got her own footing despite being tied to one of the highest earning rappers alive. From an ex-music, still getting house money, let's go to a wife actively accusing her rapper husband of cutting off the family. Drecka Gates. Kevin Gates and his wife were the rare rap couple that fans actually music rooted for. They met when they were teenagers, got married, built businesses together, raised kids together. Drecka was the brains behind a lot of his career moves. She wasn't just a wife, she was a whole partner in the empire. Then July 2025 came, and the whole thing collapsed. Drecka filed for divorce after about 9 years of marriage, and the paperwork made everybody's jaw drop. She claimed Kevin dismantled the financial foundation of the family back in 2021, stopping payments for the kids' private school, property taxes, the mortgage, all of it. The kicker was the IRS situation. There was reportedly around $7 million in unpaid taxes that put a lien on their Mississippi farm, putting the property at risk of foreclosure. Imagine being married to a man who's bringing in millions and finding out the IRS is about to take the family farm. That's the kind of stress that ends marriages quick. Drecka came to court asking for serious bread. Music. She wanted around $27,000 a month in child support and $46,000 a month in spousal support, which adds up to over $73,000 a month total, plus joint custody and a chunk of the assets. She was basically saying, "Give me what I helped build." Kevin Gates didn't take it lying down. He hopped on Instagram to tell his side, accusing Drecka and her family of stealing money from him. He pushed back on the deadbeat dad image, music, claiming he cut off financial support because money was disappearing under suspicious circumstances. Music. He also got into specifics about cars and other assets that he says were taken. The whole thing is still playing out, but what makes Drecka's story stand out is how she went from being celebrated music as the perfect partner to filing papers saying her husband left the family financially exposed. She helped build the brand, music, and now she's fighting in court to get her share back from a partner who claims she got cut off. The next entry features a wife who's still legally music married, but feels held hostage. Cardi B. Born Belcalis Almanzar, this Bronx rapper married Kiari Cephas, known as Offset from Migos, back in 2017. Their relationship has been a roller coaster of love, breakups, makeups, music, and now a divorce that won't actually finish. Since they got hitched, they filed for divorce, called it off, and filed multiple times again. But the most interesting financial twist came in late 2025 when Cardi opened up about why the divorce was taking forever. In a public Instagram session, she said the only reason she was still married was because somebody wanted her to pay their taxes. She felt held hostage over millions in debts that weren't even hers. The numbers behind the situation were nasty. Offset had around $1.5 million in federal tax liens for 2022 alone, plus other tax issues that totaled around $778,000 in remaining balance after partial payments. Music. Georgia state taxes added another $292,000. The man's tax bill looked like a phone number. Cardi made it clear she wasn't paying any of it. She kept saying she earns her own money, runs her own brand, and doesn't owe the IRS for somebody else's choices. The frustration in her voice was real. She felt like the divorce was being dragged out so she could get pulled into the financial mess. Now, Cardi herself isn't broke at all. She's still cashing checks from music, beauty deals, and endorsements. She had a baby with Stefon Diggs and kept her career moving. By early 2026, Offset cleared the $1.5 million lien, which removed one of the big roadblocks. But there were also gambling lawsuits and other financial drama swirling around him. So technically, Cardi didn't go broke, but the way she described feeling trapped financially while married to a man with crazy tax debt is the closest thing to a wife going broke through marriage, even when she has her own bag. She was protecting her own money from getting pulled into someone else's hole. From a wife dodging tax debt, let's check out a wife who allegedly walked into a court and found her husband's account had only $10,000. Tamika Thiam. Aliaun Thiam, the singer-rapper better known as Akon, was her husband for almost 3 decades. He's the voice behind hits like Locked Up, Smack That, and a whole catalog of mid-2000s anthems. Music. He also built businesses across Africa, including Akon Lighting Africa, real estate, and his Akon City project. The man is supposed to be a multi-millionaire several times over. Tamika was with him for around 29 years. That's basically a lifetime in celebrity years. In 2025, she filed for divorce and asked for around $100 million in the settlement. She claimed she played a major role in building his empire, from the music side to the African business ventures to the lighting initiative. Then came the plot twist that shocked the internet. When the court actually looked into Akon's personal finances, his accounts only had around $10,000 in them. Yeah, 10 grand. The man who built a city, ran international businesses, and top charts had less in his personal account than some regular 9 to 5 workers. The rumor mill went into overdrive. People started saying Akon had moved most of his assets under his mother's name for protection. That's an old-school move that rich people use to make sure if anything happens, divorce or lawsuit, the money stays in the family bloodline. If true, that means Tamika was looking at a divorce where there was technically nothing to split. Akon made his own move. He requested termination of spousal support, which means he wanted to pay her absolutely nothing going forward. So you have a wife asking for $100 million and a husband saying, give her 0. The gap between those two numbers tells you everything about how this divorce is going. The case is still developing, but the early reports were brutal for Tamika. 29 years invested into a man, and the official paperwork shows $10,000. Whether the asset-hiding claims are true or not, she's looking at a fight that might leave her with way less than she expected. From a wife demanding $100 million, the next entry tells a similar story about hidden wealth. Nav's wife. This one comes more from social media chatter than verified court papers, but it's been spreading across hip-hop forums and Instagram for a while now. The Canadian rapper Nav, born Navraj Garaya, allegedly had a wife who tried to divorce him after about 10 years together, expecting to get half his fortune. According to the viral stories floating around Facebook and Instagram, she was looking at a man with an estimated net worth of around $5 million or more. She filed for divorce thinking she was about to get a serious payday. Houses, music, cars, money, the whole 9. 10 years of marriage usually means at least half the assets in most places. Then came the discovery. When the lawyers started digging into Nav's actual holdings, everything was registered under his mother's name. The music, houses, the cars, the bank accounts, the investments. Every major asset was technically owned by his mom, not him. So legally, there was nothing for the court to split. The story gets even messier. The viral tale claims she was forced to return gifts Nav had given her over the years. The clothes, the jewelry, the car she was driving, all music of it. Because if the assets were technically his mother's, then everything she received was a gift on loan, not something she owned. She walked out of that marriage with basically what she came in with. Now, the disclaimers are important here. This story has been heavily sensationalized, and there's no clear court filing backing up every detail. Hip-hop forums on Reddit have debated whether the whole thing is even real or just a viral cautionary tale getting passed around. Nav himself hasn't really addressed it publicly, music. But the reason this story keeps getting traction is because it taps into a real pattern in hip-hop. Rappers using mothers, family trusts, and corporate structures to shield their wealth from divorce is a well-known strategy. Whether Nav specifically did this or not, the concept music itself is real, and other rappers have used similar moves. From an alleged hidden asset situation, let's wrap up with one more wife caught in the divorce shuffle. Kirsten Corley. Chancellor Bennett, known to the world as Chance, music, a beautiful Chicago love story. They had been music-linked since they were teenagers, got married in 2018, had kids, and seemed solid. Then 2024 hit, and the cracks started showing. They separated, and Kirsten filed for divorce in December 2024 after about, music, 6 years of marriage. The hip-hop world was a little shocked because Chance had always come across as the wholesome rapper, the family man, the good guy. The split wasn't full of public scandal, but the timing raised eyebrows. Now, here's why Kirsten makes this list, music, even though her story is the calmest. The early filings referenced child support and pregnancy expenses as part of the financial conversation. When a divorce mentions pregnancy expenses, music, the implications are usually heavy. There was no public bankruptcy claim, no crying broke in court, but the financial back and forth was real. By January 2025, The couple reached a settlement that Kirsten called fair and equitable. The actual numbers weren't released publicly, which is the smart move when you have kids and a brand to protect. Chance also kept things low-key in his public statements about the divorce, focusing on co-parenting rather than airing dirty laundry. What makes Kirsten's situation interesting is the contrast. Music. While other wives on this list are screaming for millions, accusing husbands of hiding cash, or threatening bankruptcy, Kirsten took the quiet route. She got her settlement, signed the papers, and moved on. No public broke claims, no Instagram rants, no demands for $2 million a month. But the underlying truth is the same as the others. Once a rapper marriage ends, the lifestyle that came with it usually ends, too. The mansions, the trips, the support music team, the easy access to money, all of that gets renegotiated or disappears. Even with a fair settlement, going from rapper's wife to ex-rapper's wife is a financial demotion most women don't fully prepare for. Music. Kirsten just handled hers with more class than the rest of this list combined. That's a wrap on the rapper wives who watched their bank accounts shrink, their lifestyles, music, downgrade, and their court battles drag on for years. Some lost everything, some lost dignity, and some walked away with bags, but still felt cheated. The one consistent lesson, music, is that hip-hop wealth is way more fragile than the songs make it sound.